Hey everyone, this is Deb. Welcome to the Holly Jolly Christmas Hop Week 3. I've been a little under the weather, but I did manage to get some things done for this. Not a whole lot. Not as much as I have been trying to do. But anyway, this week we were to do either Christmas cards or tags. And I had big plans to do lots of both, but I only did 4 cards. So with that, let me get started before my voice goes away. Excuse me. That's already starting to do. I don't know if you watched my Oh So Inspired collab, but I had made a card like this. And when I was doing this card, well, actually, this is one of the 2 cards I made. When I was doing this card, another idea popped into my head based on something I had in my stash. So I wanted to do more cards of that sort of style, but a little different. So what I came up with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I made, all the cards, and then I'm going to go back through and tell you what I used in them. In case I lose my voice in that part, I can come back or something. So I have this angel die cut. Just see it's coming off. And I wanted it to look like an angel kind of going up to heaven, you know, or whatever, or coming down to help us, whichever way you want to look at it. So this is the first card I made, and I'll go through what I did later. And on the inside, I just put Merry Christmas. I put 2, what do you call them? Pads? Mats. Okay, so that's the first one that I made. The second one I made is the same, only I reversed it and have white here with blue angel and some sparkles, and also Believe, and also Merry Christmas with no mat. So that was the 2 that I did based on the method that we learned, or I learned through the Oh So Inspired. But there's a little bit of a twist on those, and I'll tell you what it is when I get to that in a minute. Then the second batch of 2, or set of 2, I used sort of an old world Christmas paper and craft. And this is the first one. And I did use a little bit of a technique with this too, which I'll go through. And there's the inside. Actually, that was the last one I made. And then this one, I have it so it's going to open this way, but I kind of goofed and put the greeting going this way. So I guess it could be that way, except I got it uneven. Anyway, I'll chalk that up to not feeling good. So let me go back to the first ones, and I'm going to just show you what I used and what I did. I'll tell you what I did. And that bubble's going to drive me nuts. There's a loose spot on the ribbon. Okay, I used from the Recollections, the blue pack of paper, which is called Cape something or other. I don't know, Cape Cod or something like that. Anyway, I used the dark blue, I used the light blue, and then I again used, I'm still on the first sheet of this, that Coordinations Opulent Opal glittery paper I had gotten at Joann's loose a while back. And then I also used ribbon, which sort of has that sparkle on it. And this stamp, which just says Merry Christmas. I ordered it last year or early this year from Mountainside Crafts on Etsy. In case you're interested, they have a lot of stamps, both the rubber on wood or unmounted rubber, and I think she was starting to get into clear also. And then I used the Tim Holtz 660058 Season's Greetings Thinlit Words, and I use the Believe out of there right here. And then I also, on the first one only, I used Sparkle Embossing Powder Glitz, it's called. And I used that. Oh, and one more thing. What did I do with it? Hang on. I used an embossing folder. 1 second. I still had it out, but maybe not. Yeah, it is. I used this embossing folder, which is a SAZON. And it is called, pretty sure I got this at Tuesday morning, but I'm not positive. It's 2 to a set, and the one I used is this Raise right here, and this is it here. And I always have to have a couple fails before I do something I like. The first thing I did is I tried my inks. I had a real pale Stampin' Up ink, but it was too dry and it didn't show up. So I wiped that off, and then I tried, I wasn't sure what the result would be, but I wanted to try it. I had a Spectrum Noir marker, which it was the color that I wanted to use, this light blue. Well, it kind of stained my plastic, and very little of it showed up on the paper. So, and I did them on white paper. And then I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do the blue paper and emboss it, which I did. I stuck it in there and just embossed it. But then I put on the, this stuff on the paper, the clear embossing ink by Stampendous, and I embossed it with this Sparkle Embossing Glitz on this part here. And it turned out, I did it on the whole ray, and it turned out really good, I thought. And it doesn't come off, and I did it good. I was so happy. And then I just punched out the Believe out of, what do you call it, the Opulent Opal, as I did the angel. And this heart actually came out of the angel. This one was in a set I got when I got my Gemini die cutting machine, so that was the smallest heart, and they're all out of the Opulent Opal. And then as hindsight, which is why this is coming loose and I had to fix it, I didn't think it had enough at the top, so I just put a piece of this off-ray ribbon. I might have gotten that at AC Moore, excuse me, AC Moore, not sure. So I was kind of happy with that, other than that piece of ribbon. And on this one, truthfully, I'm still learning at stamping, but I think I do better with these wooden stamps than I do with the clear for some reason. But anyway, the first time I stamped this, I stamped it right on the card back, and it didn't take right. So I thought, okay, well, I can fix this. So I put a blue mat underneath. I stamped on a piece of white cardstock before I glued it onto the, or tape runnered it onto the mat, and that turned out good that time, I think. So yeah, that's my first one with my angel, and I hope you like it. And then the second one, like I said, is pretty much the same, except that I didn't have to do any embossing because this glittery paper already has that effect. So it has the rays embossed in that paper. And then I did the angel is, hang on, so I have her out too. I'm sure I did. Where are you, Nyla? Here she is. She's Cottage Cuts Elegant Angel is what she's called. And CCE-440 if you're interested. Okay, so I pretty much did the same thing. I glued the ribbon on. Oh, one other thing. On this one, I did put mounting foam under the dark blue, and I did put, what what do you call it? What do you call those things? These things. These little square adhesives I had to cut in little pieces to put under the angel. And also I had to cut one up, which is one of them's coming off here, which is I'm fiddling with, under the Believe. So I did pop them up a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, and I'm not sure I'm crazy about that. I don't like being able to see in the sides. So this one, I didn't do that. I didn't pop any of it up. I just glued it on top of each other. And I think it looks fine. Oh, and I did put one of my favorite waterfall stickers, which I did just order more from somewhere. I found it in a single. And I put that on the blue angel and the hearts. And that's about it for that one. And that one, I actually stamped okay without a mat. Although I kind of like the look of the mat in the other one. But, yeah. So, those are those two and what I used. I hope I hit on everything. Okay, these ones... Oh, no, I didn't. Hang on. Again, use these A2 coordinations. I got these. I believe coordinations is Joann's, and I had bought them in craft too, and I'd never used any of them. So I wanted to use some of the craft, and I had this old worldy kind of looking paper from Hobby Lobby last year, the Paper Studio. It's called A Merry Christmas to You. So I used this sheet and the poinsettias. Hang on. Of course I can't find it when and that sheet. And that's it. One sheet. 2 sheets out of there and 2 cards and envelopes out of here. Oh, and then I did use also a piece of red and a piece of the darker green in the Holiday Recollections cardstock pack, which I had since last year or early this year. Because remember, one time I said I almost rebought it, and then I realized I had it. It hadn't even been opened, but it is now. It is. Okay, so what I did with these, I watched a video and I learned another technique the other day. I was not feeling well, and I mostly watched videos all day. So what I did is I had this Hero Arts poinsettia, which came with paper shaper thingies, but I didn't use those. What I used this for, I used Versamark, and on both the green, which you can see it better, plain green paper inside and out, I used this watermark pad, and I went about 4 or 5 times on the paper after I cut it, and after I cut it, the plain paper, and did a watermark of poinsettias. And I did that on both that one and on the red backing in this one. I think that looks so cool. I love that technique. I was so happy, happy to learn that. So, on this one, I put twine. I kind of goofed on this too, because I had meant to tie a bow over here, but when I put the twine down, I centered it, silly me. So anyway, yeah, so it ended up I had to put it in the middle, and then I didn't really have enough. It was a little longer, but not much to tie a bow, so I had these stickers, and I just hot glued the twine down onto the green paper, then I put the poinsettia paper down, and then I had these sparkly poinsettias that were sort of old-fashioned looking too, from the Paper Studio, and I just hot glued that down on top of the twine after I tied the twine. And then I used some of these big blings from Studio G, which is it says Hampton Art, but I think I get them, I don't know where I got them. I was thinking Walmart, but I'm not sure now. Anyway, and then I used that same Merry Christmas stamp, but I did it in red. Plus I used, and that was SAZON, excuse me. so sorry. SAZON Blazing Red, because I know that red works. I know it's not supposed to be used for card making, but it worked fine. And you can tell which one I use. It's a little poinsettia in these Hero Arts Poly Clear little set that I've used before for the snowflakes. The only thing is I have cleaned that. It doesn't come off real good. And I even used SAZON all-purpose stamp cleaner. And that usually takes it off pretty good, but it didn't. So I just put them in the corners. So I thought that was cute, except that you're going to have to open it that way, even though you're looking at it that way. So anyway, it's a little bit wonky. This one, I put washi underneath. It was just a plaid washi, and I ran it all the way across before I put this paper on. And I did use my corner rounder from EK Success. It's a 1-inch corner rounder. I just tied a little bow with the excuse me, with the twine up here, because I thought those colors went with this old-fashioned Christmas. And this says a Merry Christmas to you, and it's got a little speech here. And then I used the medium-sized blings, which I did use a dab of tacky glue with too. And on this one, I used a Season's Greetings in green, and then more of those little poinsettias. And the Season's Greetings came out of this Stampin' Up! Seasonal Bells, which I've been wanting to use. I haven't yet, except for the Season's Greetings. And I didn't realize they are, they are rubber stamps. So it was this one here, which I just dropped the label for. I didn't put the label on the back because I like them to be able to stick to my clear, sorry guys, my clear mounting blocks that I have. Not mounting, but you know, the stamp blocks, these things. And I have a whole set of them from Stampin' Up! And another one from somewhere else. Oh, and then the, I also used, because I thought, okay, well, it's nice that I put this red background in, but what am I going to use for them to write on? And I thought, I'm pretty sure I have some craft paper, and I was looking at my 8.5 by 11, and I didn't, because I didn't want to use another one of my card bases. So I found that I had bought from Ms. Sparkle and Company this paper craft tablet, 40 sheets, and I used it for the first time. It's a little tiny bit darker than the envelope, card base and envelope, but I think it's alright. I'm happy with that. So that is my set of cards for this week. I hope you liked them. I enjoyed making them, actually. That was a lot of fun. All of them. But I am starting to feel a little bad again. So I'm probably going to have to take a little break. And I had hoped to have tags for you. I don't think I'm going to get to them today. So, yeah, just to show you again. Card number 1. Card number 2. Card number 3. And card number 4. Okay, guys, that's it. I'm also going to count these, which I almost forgot, as number... Actually, I kind of messed up. 41, because I have to go back and correct my numbering on some of the others. And today, I think, is the 17th or 18th. I can't remember. Anyway, 4 Christmas cards. Okay. I'm going to put 2 angels and 2 old world. Okay, and that will be hashtag number 41 for my 100 Things Challenge. And also, some of these, I made them, I was glad to make them because I have promised some people some Christmas cards. So these, and possibly the 2 other ones that I made earlier in the week, will be going out to people for their use. You probably know who you are if you're watching. So I have a total of 6 because I also have this one from the Oh So Inspired collab, and this one from the Oh So Inspired collab. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please go follow the hop. I hope they're hopping by now. Follow the other ladies and one gentleman in the hop for the Holly Jolly Christmas hop. Have fun. I probably am going to spend the afternoon doing that because it's kind of cold and rainy and yucky and I don't feel well. So I'll talk to you soon. Hugs and love. Bye.